Welcome back, everybody. We are here with Corey Ralston, founder of Child Actor 101. My name is Kristina Brunelle, and Corey and his alternate personality. Does your alternate personality have a name?
I don't know if this wig has a name, but there are personalities that wear different wigs, like Mort and Olive. But no, this is just sassy, fun blue. And I'm just proving to you that I do have all these wigs, and this is a fun one.
I love it. And for those of you who may have missed an earlier episode, Corey is sitting underneath a shelf that has covered with all kinds of fun paraphernalia, including multiple colored and sizes and genders of
Mhm.
wigs. And I asked him, I told him at one point, you're going to have to wear one of those. And he surprised us today.
Here I am
This
today
one.
with this wig. All right.
It's perfect. I love it. All right. So question today, when you think about the audition cycle, what do you feel that parents need to understand emotionally, especially in terms of the waiting, the silence, the almost, and the disappointment that can come with it?
That your kid is a lot more resilient than you think that they are.
Mm.
Right? They're not as devastated as you think that they are. I think kids get over it a lot quicker, and you are probably more upset as a parent about it. It's hurting your feelings more that there's possibly disappointment or your kid is feeling any sort of sting, but let them feel what they need to feel and then, get over it.
Yeah.
Take a day or two. The farther you go in a process, the more it's going to sting. And rejection never feels good, but I think we worried that this rejection, this constant no's are damaging your child. But I really think that we're projecting that onto kids a lot more than they are feeling it.
Yeah. I actually kind of think it's the opposite where, life is going to throw you a lot of no's. Isn't it better to get them out of the way when you're young and they don't really matter to build up your resilience to that?
Yeah. I mean, I think I have gone before school boards and talked to principals at schools, and there's a lot of people that think that, it's reckless to pursue acting as a kid and, messing up their education. But I think the life lessons you learn, the humanity that you learn, the self confidence that you learn, so many great things come from exploring this industry that, yeah, I think getting the nose and adjusting and getting over things and dusting yourself off is a really admirable, great skill and trait to have. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're forming grit basically, which is very necessary. I also think I want to go back to something you said around you basically means more to the parents than it does to the kids. I liken it to, when you're small and your kid falls down, there are some parents who are like, "Oh no. Oh, poor thing. Oh, it's so horrible." And you see the kid kind of go
yeah,
react based on how the parent is treating them versus the parent that's like, "Did you fall down?" And they
right.
kinda laugh it off and then they go on their way. And I see both of those happening with parents and the reactions to whether a kid gets an audition or not kind of thing.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a balance that really needs to be found there, like let kids feel what they need to feel, let them be sad and like salty for a day or so about it, but don't think that this is like a permanent state or they're like very wounded about it. Or like don't talk about that movie that they didn't get the part in or what have you because they're over it. And what I try to instill in my clients and kids that I teach or mentor is that we are rooting for every actor out there. That's our lifeline, so like we
Mhm.
want someone to get the part and someone that we like and that it's not personal. And so this rejection isn't really rejection.
Sure.
So maybe we should reframe it. It stings that you didn't get the opportunity that you wanted, but it's not personal.
Right.
It has nothing to do with your value or your worth.
Or your character. Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, your character, but not your character.
Yeah.
All right. So let's say you actually do get the booking. Right? The child actually books the role. What changes when that happens? And what do you feel like parents really need to know when it comes to professionalism, onset behavior, communication with the folks around them, protecting normal family life? What are the key things that you're like, oh, could they just know this?
That every single different set is going to be a learning curve, just be as professional and polite and adaptable as you can and also know that it's going to be the most exciting thing that your kid has done, even if it's a little small shoot. Like it is so addicting. Like it's when someone gets their first tattoo and they want another one right away because it was like scary but they did it, or like you went on that like awesome roller coaster or whatever. It's addicting and it's sad when it's over and you're waiting for the next job. You want to book another job. It's so cool. It feels so great to be creative and do something and then get to see the end product, but just being a part of the like process of the set and the crew and everything. It's such an awesome experience that know that your kid is likely going to fall in love with it, and there's going to be a hangover. There's going to be a come down from
Yeah.
that, and they're going to probably be more sad than having never booked anything at all.
Yeah, post-performance depression is real. I've seen it.
Yeah, just like a
Yeah,
play, the same
yeah.
same type of thing, but in film, it's even more intense. Just go to learn and be adaptable and on time and kind, and just be ready to learn, and don't feel like you need to know everything. There's plenty of people on the crew that are there to make sure that you are where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there and doing the things you're supposed to be doing. So just show up to have a good time and don't be late.
Don't be late. Early is on time. So, speaking of like post show, how would you recommend that parents stay sort of even keeled and steady when things do slow down in between opportunities, or they feel like maybe their kid is in a plateau or their kid's confidence dips?
Be creating. I think it's really important so you still feel like you're doing something. It feels so good to see an end product. So I think, creating skits, helping reading for other people's self tapes, get involved in classes, make clips, to do things like that. And it's okay to, if you just came off of a series regular on network TV show, to go do a play in your small town as well. That
Mm,
it's okay to do those things. They can exist in the same space. Just because you were in a film directed by James Cameron doesn't mean that you can't be in Hello Dolly in your middle school in the fall, So
you already
doing
did.
what you love is what's important, and that is what is addicting and the creation of it, and that's why actors are actors. And so don't stop it just because it's slow. Find ways to perform and feel like you're involved.
That's such good advice. Yeah, just to stay in the game, kind of thing. So, when in your experience, what have been some warning signs that either a child or their family might be burning out, and what do you recommend to parents so that they can intervene before the joy disappears?
I think, like when self tapes become a chore is probably like the major one, like when the opportunity isn't as exciting as it was. And I hope your actors feel this way when they see it like, ooh, this is a TV series that could be going on. Or everything is so cool and exciting that they can't wait to dive in. So when playing Roblox, or I don't even know what kids are doing these days, but if that's more important than learning their lines or going to coaching or doing the self tape, then you really need to have the talk because, burnout is happening. And sometimes kids just need a break.
Sure.
Doesn't mean that they're done. That just means like that we all go through shifts in different paradigms and things are more important this month than they were last month. And so your kids are like you. They got tired of eating Cheez Its, even though they ate them for like 5 months in a row as their favorite snack. Sometimes you need a little break and that's okay. And your talent reps are not going to be freaked out about it. All you have to do is communicate. You know, your kids' mental health and excitement and engagement is so important. If they are stressed out or have a big test and can't self tape this opportunity, then pass.
Right.
Don't make it so intense if they need it to be a little less intense sometimes.
That's so smart. All right, almost to the end of our time together. I want to ask you about Child Actor 101. So
Yeah.
you've built this trusted community for parents, and there are even some young actors in there. What do you hope that members of the community and parents feel after spending time with you or hearing your perspective as a part of these interviews or being part of the community of Child Actor 101?
Good question. This is, like I said, Child Actor 101 has evolved so much beyond what I ever expected it to be. I really just wanted a platform where myself and other industry pros can give honest advice and be helpful and steer parents away from any scams and
Mhm.
just, be as accessible as we can. Because we live in a different age where we can be that, you could get a hold of people you never would be able to before. And over the years, it's just become so much more. And I'm so excited to be offering more things and creating more tools that I think maybe a lot of people don't even know the half of it. Things that I'm proud of and worked very hard at, and some things that was maybe not the best idea, and then change directions. But my hope is that Child Actor 101 it can be this trusted one stop shop where you can get all of your needs met, or at least know where to find the resource that you need or the tool that you need. And so I really want it to be a place that you could trust, get frank, real advice, and have people to uplift you and share your wins and give you a hug when things don't go your way. Around people that gives you more access than you would normally be able to have.
Understand the world. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So just so everybody's clear, I love that. And I love the picture you painted of the community. And I'm conscious of there's probably a bunch of parents who are relatively new to Child Actor 101. Can you give us a rundown of like what are the top 5 tools that you would suggest people go and avail themselves of that exist within Child Actor 101?
Okay, well, I mean, just within the past years, like so many things have come out, and it's hard to promote some of these things. I probably need to do a better job at that. But we have some incredible resources that are for you and free and meant to make your life easier and help you navigate the industry better. So the biggest one is the directory. There's a lot of noise out there, and there's not a lot of lists or places to go to know where can I find an acting coach or a head or stylist or where who are youth managers or someone that can help with self tapes, or there's so many like niche resources that needed to be
Right on?
aggregated. Yeah, for
Yeah.
and but also like vetted as well,
Mm. Now, do
and
you vet everyone?
some of them, like based off of like who I know, and then sometimes I have to ask around. And there's also in California there are some laws and tools that are there to that help sort of that process. A lot of it I want to come from parents themselves, people that they do trust and know, and say if they're not in the directory, let's put them in there. But I thought we would launch it with maybe a couple hundred listings, and we already have like 1,200 like right off the bat. And so it's going to keep growing, and I hope it reaches every nook and cranny of where you all live, so you could find people that are in the know and are helpful to you. So please utilize that so it can be out there and more people will want to join, and that you guys are giving your feedback and making list of your favorites in each category and having a place where all of these people work with kid actors and are a part of the industry. And so that is something huge that took a really long time to flesh out and build, and I'm very proud of it, and I really want people to use it. So that's something that's important.
Yeah, that's a good reminder too that it's only as good as we can help make it by putting
Yeah.
in the vendors that we work with and love.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's number
Um
1. What would be the
That
others?
yeah, goodness. There's so many. Well, we talked briefly about the guides, the Prep 101 guides, the Reader 101 guides. There's a smaller one called Bold Choices that just gives the actor some ideas of how to stand out with some different ways to play a scene. This has taken me probably a year and a half to build these tools. And one of my biggest fears is that people would think that it was just like an AI tool that is probably can give you bad advice or is not personal. But this is a tool that I used AI to help me create. But all of the information that comes from it is based on off of my training notes and my classes and everything that I teach about the industry. And so the information is coming from me. It's just being given to you by an AI tool, but it's
Good.
all me. It's not creating something on its own. So it's taken me a
Pouring
long
in a
time.
bottle.
It is. And that's what's so cool about it. Like it blows me away still. I'm like, man, I would say that. It's so fast and it's so valuable. And I've had some parents say, like, this is gold. Like I would pay $100 for this. Sometimes if you can't get coaching and you have 11 p.m. the audition comes through, like using this tool and getting a guide that tells your kid what their character wants and where they are, answering some of those questions and
Oh,
ways
yeah.
that they could play the behavior or ideas to play the character, all of those things that sometimes takes a long time to analyze,
Yeah.
you
Well,
know?
I remember the first time I used it, I was like, "What? My god."
Yeah, I
It
believe you
it
said
really
you
is
said I was
gold.
a sorcerer or something. You said, "What
Yes.
wizardry is this?" Yeah, it's really it needs involved, and I if you would like to try it, everybody, you can. There's a one-time sign up on prep101.site is how you could reach it, or
Uh-huh.
reader101.site, or boldchoices.site. But for Prep 101, if you use the code right there in after you sign up for an account, free 101, you can get a prep guide for free to try out, one for
Oh,
everybody. And
everybody
Reader
should run and
101
do
is the
that.
code for the parent reader guide to help you not mess up your kids' self-tape. So
Is it so sorry because I spoke over you. It's free 101 is the code for each of them?
for Prep 101 and Reader 101 is the code for Reader 101.
Okay. Okay. Awesome.
So yeah, I would love you guys to try it and get your feedback on it and how it's helped you. And after you use it, I think that you would see like it's completely dirt cheap, affordable to use, and you would probably want to use it. I like even myself as a coach, I love sending before I even coach a kid for an audition. I send them the guide first, so we don't have to spend all the time analyzing the scene and the character and what's happening and all of that jazz, they could be prepared with that already. And then we could just dive in and start playing with the character and doing fun stuff
Right.
and, creating fun ways to stand out, you know? So,
More enjoyable.
that's awesome tools that I think I wish more people knew about because they're unlike anything that's out there, worth its weight in gold. I believe that. So those are new tools that I think people don't know about. Recently, just last week, I came out with Resume 101, which is a free tool for parents to go on our website and plug in their information, and it spits out an industry standard resume formatted for you for your kid.
I saw
And
that.
there's even a little info boxes or chat things that will, based on all of my advice, it's not something that the LLM is creating out of thin air, of like what your questions might be and how to guide you through filling in those blanks. And so, absolutely free. Please use it. I've wanted, like I said, this one stop shop. I want there to be these tools and things that you could use. And I'm just so happy to be able to create it and share it. And I've got tons of ideas, but I'm also, I will say, lastly, and there's lots of things you should go check out the ecosystem of all the things that Child Actor 101 could be that you don't know about, but that we have that free talent rep online open call at least once a
Mm.
year. I would say probably within 2 to 3 months. Every like new 1,000 members that join, we kind of like kick one off has kind of been the thing. I don't know if it will always be like that. The timing has been decent like that. So probably I would say maybe August-ish, I believe we might have one.
That's
But
cool.
what it is this incredible opportunity that every showcase that wants you to pay thousands of dollars is going to want to promise you, but this is even more, is that you are given the opportunity to be seen by the veritable who's who of youth managers and talent agents across the country, right?
Wow.
That can go through and based on what holes they have in their roster, what kind of kids they need. So many kids have been signed from these opportunities, including your daughter,
Yay. Yes. I'm
right?
very excited. Very, very
So
excited.
it's an incredible opportunity that's completely free, and I'm so happy to offer it. And I wish people would really take advantage of it. I think a lot of people are scared, but if you have your materials ready, like don't be afraid to put yourself out there because you will never get this kind of exposure. As far as I know, as far as my understanding of what is available in this world, I have a pretty good understanding of it. You can never get this amount of exposure from any kind of showcase or anything that exists. The amount of
Yeah.
eyes that are going to be on every kid that turns their materials in for the open call, chances are you are going to be put in front of a manager or agent that could be interested in you. And if
Right.
not, like the next one you probably will be ready for. Sometimes people aren't ready. And that's the universe, our God, shutting that
Yeah.
door. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't feel bad about it.
One thing that you made me remember, I think another one of your very helpful guides that I constantly tell people about, is your headshot guide, and particularly if they're gonna like, it breaks my heart sometimes when I see people post headshots that are not headshots, like, they're just not
Yeah.
I'm like, "That was not a actor headshot photographer. Oh, and you just spent a lot of money on that." And I wish everybody would read your headshot guide before they go getting their photographer
And this is
to
completely
like,
visual,
ask.
right? Yeah, and it
Yes,
has like tons of great examples of what
it
headshots should
does.
look like and what to wear. And yeah, so I'm in the process of updating that actually. It's been around for a few years, but it's stood up.
Yeah.
It's very, very helpful. But yeah, I, it is probably the most popular free guide that is out there that we have offered. But yeah, that and a few other new guides, free guides about learning your lines and self tape gear and stuff like that is all up on our website as well. So,
Awesome.
so if you,
Awesome.
it's not just the Facebook group, everybody. There's Child Actor 101 and the whole ecosystem of resources and tools and life that lives beyond the Facebook group. So
Yes. And one
venture out
last
there.
thing that I think some people might be aware, but I imagine there's a lot of people that aren't, which is that you teach classes as well.
So for a long time, find it very necessary to coach and teach when I can. I usually save the last part of my day to do that, which works out for some people. East Coasters tend to not be as thrilled. Like usually around 3, 4, 5 in the evening on the West Coast is when I'm able to carve time out. But for a long time, I've been teaching a variety of different classes of different ideas. And a few years ago, I started sort of a master program called The Craft, which a lot of kids have gone through. And so many kids have done so well off of that. I have a whole page kids and what they've booked and stuff, that have gone through and did intensive study. But what I've done now, and I'm happy with this because I'm not just creating random classes anymore. I've created what I call the 101 training program, right? And it's going to be these recurring classes that keep happening. And there's 3 core classes to it. And I just wrapped up the first one, which was the audition mastery, which is
Mhm.
teaching kids how to self tape and analyze their sides and know what their character wants and all of that kind of stuff. Like the sort of basics that help them get it down. It's helpful for kids wherever they're at. It helps them out, whether they're brand new or whether they've been doing this for a while. And so next is called Character Lab. And this is where kids learn how to create memorable, human, living, make choices that feel real and create characters and not play it safe. And so that is the like part two of my training program. And then the third one, which will be offered, I think September, October ish, is called Master Methods. And this is sort of the advanced. You have to take one or the other, either taken Character Lab already or taken
Mm.
Audition Mastery. But Master Methods is going to be a deep dive into things like Stanislavski and Meisner and Uda Hagen and,
Oh, I love
Adler,
it.
and sort of give them a taste of all these different tools and method techniques that are out there to really dive into the character, but for them to choose. And
Mhm.
every class is longer than usual classes. Audition Mastery was 12 weeks, Character Lab is 10 weeks, and Master Methods is like 6 weeks, I believe. And you get something from this. You either get like things for your reel at the end of it, or the first class you're getting like a one-on-one with me to go over what they've learned and how they could improve. And then you're going to get clips for your reel or character, like knowing who their types are and all of that kind of stuff. Anyways, so I dialed it down and I feel very secure in this. This one-on-one training program is, if you graduate from this, you're going to have a very good, well-rounded education that I think everyone would recognize as being very thorough.
Love it.
So that is what's on the table now, is Character Lab and then Master Methods, and then it starts all over again. So I will have these rotating 3 core classes, and that will be what I'm teaching. And I'm also available on and off for private coaching as well when it fits into my schedule.
I love that. Awesome. All right. This is our final round of rapid fire questions for you.
Okay, the blue hair may create some different answers.
All right. So, quiet night in or big night out?
Quiet night in. I've changed people. I've changed. Quiet night in.
It used to be the opposite, I see. Okay.
Hmm.
Ah. All right. Book or podcast?
Podcast. Not
Hmm.
that I don't like reading, but I love how easy podcasts are to do other things and learn a lot.
Yes, I would agree. Yeah. Dream dinner guest, living or dead?
Ernest Hemingway.
Er-
I've always been a big fan of his work. I do read people. Going to see his house on Key West was such a dream. I just think he's a fascinating man. There's plenty other people that I would invite, but yeah, he pops out as someone very notable that I would love to have pick his brain at dinner. Or Michelle Obama. One of the two.
Yeah. Could you imagine if you could have both?
Man, yeah.
Something you are proud of that has nothing to do with work.
We're so consumed with work all the time. But what I am proud of, I'm a good friend. I really the people that I let into my life, I really care about, like, like their family, and I really like to invest in people. And
Mm.
so I'm proud of myself. I think that's something that I know feels good, and it's a good use of your space while you're here on this planet, is just being a good friend. And so I'm proud of myself for that.
That's awesome. Now you're gonna make me cry. Speaking of a funny movie or tearjerker?
Tearjerker. I don't know why I like to be sad, but it's cathartic. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, a good, and then the acting is always going to be, usually pretty good, but it doesn't take much to make me cry. So even a good comedy movie could be a tearjerker. You never know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're talking to the you're preaching to the choir because I cry at Hallmark commercials.
Yeah, me too. So good, but it feels good, doesn't it? But sometimes I
Yeah,
have to watch something funny afterwards. But no, yeah, a good, yeah. Come on, give me the emotion. I want to know the human experience. Yeah.
right, right. All right, beach vacation or road trip?
Road trip. I love a good beach vacation. So, funny fact, my husband and I, who I will say his name is Henry, he teaches kids. He's a school teacher. I've known him since I was 9 years old. We've been friends since I was nine, and we've been married for 11 years, been a couple for 27.
Oh
And
my gosh!
when we go on vacation, we have to alternate because he's a beach vacation. He wants to go to like some island or some like beach town or whatever. But I would prefer like hopping on a train or going on a road trip and going someplace new and exciting, and like not have a plan on what we're gonna do and just go for it. So yeah, I experienced both, but yeah, I'm more of a road trip guy.
Favorite quote or phrase that you constantly come back to?
One of my favorite quotes is "This too shall pass." I think that
Mm.
is so important and it's so underrated. People say it like kind of like flies off the tongue, but yeah, I mean, what is so devastating today will not be tomorrow, So everything
Mhm.
passes. Life does get better, it gets better. Don't wallow in things too long. Life will always turn around on you. I believe that. I'm an optimist by heart. I love Meisner's quote. of acting is being truthful in imaginary circumstances.
Mm,
You know, I think that
yes.
we often lose sight that acting is not pretending, even though it is pretending. Like
Yep.
it's feeling, it's empathy, it's not pretending to be sad. It's actually feeling sad because your character is sad and you understand why they are, and that makes you sad because you're
Yeah.
connected with it. You know, so I think those are like really powerful, powerful quotes and something the actors could use. This too shall pass. You didn't get the part. Something better is meant for you, right?
Yep.
And be honest in your performance always.
That's perfect. All right. One last question.
Okay.
What is one lesson that acting taught you that still matters today?
Well, like you just said, empathy, you know, empathy is the greatest gift you could have. We have this opportunity as actors to taste humanity, right? To understand people that we would never understand, to play characters that we are nothing like, you know? And it gives us a heart for people. It makes us better people. To learn empathy, to put ourselves in someone else's shoes, live their pain and their happiness and all of that, and their love and their excitement, and it makes you appreciate just being a person and all people. I think just makes you a better human. So I think that it's the necessary skill to be a great actor. It's such a bonus that it makes you a better human being.
I agree. And I want to, on that note, I want to thank you for helping all of us parents be better human beings by providing all the resources and the guidance and the help that you do in this community that you've
It's
created.
my pleasure. This is what I live for. It's my heart. You may not see me all the time, but I'm pouring so much of my thought and energy and resources and care, and I'm rooting for every single person. I get so excited for every win that everyone has. So honestly, I'm
Yes.
proud of what we built, and it's because of you guys. You know, thank you for using it and being a part of the family. Honestly,
Well, and thank you everybody for watching. We'll see you
thank
again.
you.
Take care and have a great day.
Toodles.